Hi everyone, my name is Maria, I'm 18 years old and I'm currently going through an acne medication. I had never thought that acne would become a problem for me, and I had never thought that my face could look like that. Drinking water, eating right, getting enough sleep, wearing sunscreen, doing sports, making different facial masks every couple of days, and still waking up to slightly variable but still the same picture in the mirror is quite tiresome. I know that people around mostly don't care, and I know that people with stupid minds will see only acne and therefore I should just skip them and never pay any attention to them. And I know that those people who actually love me for being myself will always stay by my side and love me no matter what. I know. With this video, I'm not trying to move you to pity towards myself or yourself. I just wanted to give a voice and speak that part of myself which I was trying unintentionally to hide. I just wanted to let things off my chest. I decided to turn my acne into art. It all started from the inspiration from one series which I watched. The main character there was an artist, and the core meaning of all her art, as I interpreted that for myself, was to speak herself. And to speak yourself is a concept which had really became close to my mind and soul, and therefore I just thought that I need to do something, I need to speak. And the same day I finished that series, first of all I was sobbing, second of all, after I cleaned up all my mess on my face, I took my camera, sat down on the floor, just as I was in my home outfit without any makeup, with not that fresh head by the means of hair, and I just took some pictures. One of the main reasons for acne not to look that cute and pretty, in my opinion, is its color. It's red. In nature, red means alert and danger, and it's quite not a surprise that my face doesn't look that life-affirming anymore. So I decided to turn all the pictures to black and white, and I got really satisfied with the result. My acne started to remind freckles than acne more, and also neutral colors of the photos themselves would allow colorful art, which I was going to add later, to stand out and drive attention more. And also black and white photo aesthetics is just if not the only thing in this world which can never deceive and never flop. And with that base I created for myself, I actually started making art. First piece. In nature, pink crystals are known for giving out the energy of love, kindness, and compassion. And compassion combines forgiveness, emotional healing, love for the others, and love for yourself. And compassion, love, and kindness towards oneself is what I felt like I was and still am lacking in this process. And I feel like a lot of people who are going through acne medication also lack that. While working on the gems piece, I also made that connection of how all this acne on my face, aka small wounds, are actually a representation of my different inner wounds. So at that process, those little gems I was sticking to my face, actually they turned into little band-aids or love, which I was applying on my wounds, both external and internal, in order to heal them. I didn't have any strict strategy of the whole artistic process, but just intuitively I decided to apply bigger gems first and then go smaller and smaller and smaller. And also while doing this piece, well, two first pieces actually. I was watching my favorite movie, which is Lost in Translation, if you're interested. Watching my favorite movie actually made the whole process even more meditating and relaxing and self-reflective than it was originally. Second piece. I chose googly eyes for the second piece because there were a couple of times when I actually felt people staring at me outside, and actually I cannot be sure about the reason why they were doing that. Was it because of my acne, or was it because they thought that I'm actually pretty or beautiful, or was it because I was walking outside without a mask? But when I'm taking walks outside, I go alone. I cross the road to the other side of the street if I see somebody like walking towards me on the same side of the road, and I don't go to places with a lot of people. I rather choose places with no people, or like two people as strange as me just wandering, distant from everybody else. But yeah, subconsciously I think I was taking that on the count of actually my acne and not any other reasons. Anyways, sometimes I actually feel like being stared at, and so googly eyes is a very nice play of how, if you want to look at my face and want to check out my acne or something else, now it's actually my face and my acne staring at you. Also, eyes have myriads of different beautiful symbolic meanings, but I'm going to repeat only several of them. First of all, we usually actually underestimate our ability to see, and we actually forget about what a gift it actually is. But at the same time, you cannot actually see everything what's out there with your eyes only. But if you train your mind, your soul, and maybe even your eyes, you will be able to see something that nobody else can see. I don't have an actual footage of drawing the moon and the sun pieces, but the roots of those go from Egyptian mythology. Egyptian god of kingship and the sky, Horus. His right eye was the sun and his left eye was a moon, and so it doesn't necessarily connect to the core idea of my artworks, but it was just a nice thematic detail to add. And the last one, but not the least one, third piece. For the last piece, I wanted to do embroidery because I was doing some art with embroidery, and it was kind of like on this one before, and I wanted to actually repeat that because I think it's really symbolic. In Asian culture, it is believed that since the very birth and throughout your whole life, you have a red thread tied on your pinky, which connects you with your soulmate, you know, to that big and lifelong and that only one. A red ball of yarn from Greek myth about Minotaur and the labyrinth, where Theseus was able to find his way out of the maze with the help of the red thread. And also the way I was embroidering on this piece was to connect different dots on my face to create different interesting quirky shapes, as different stars were connected into constellations. And the very first shape which I added on my face was my zodiac sign, a Leo constellation, which I added on my cheek. In seafaring, since the very ancient times, stars were used to define and find a way in the sea. So many secrets about the space, our world, and our universe were discovered because of looking at the stars. And the only intentional shape which I added onto this piece was, as I said, my zodiac sign, and the rest was just an art. And that's basically how those wonderful art pieces were born. After finishing this project, first of all, some time passed, so my face actually got a bit better. It's finally at that stage where it doesn't only worsen, but also becomes better at the same time. I think I accepted my current face state because it doesn't seem that foreign and too distant anymore, but most importantly, I finally spoke myself. Do you know my favorite quote of Master Oogway from the Kung Fu Panda? There is no accident. And my overall philosophy, and maybe one of the main beliefs of this life, in this life, is that universe knows better, and that all what happens for some reason. Even if something in your life doesn't make sense right now, it will make sense later when you look back in perspective at your life. Therefore, I was fated to get my acne for some reason, to understand things, to define some things, to meet people, to grow, to overcome hardships which I had to overcome, to grow into better, stronger, kinder myself. And for the final quote, just one more old quote: Ad astra per aspera, through hardships to the stars. Thank you for watching this video, thank you for being with me, and please be happy. Your awful girl, Maria.